fall, and just last week I announced the same thing for our non-aligned staff all the way up to the level of administrative council and senior management. So that all the non-aligned staff have their 3% that's retroactive to July. We have a lot of meetings and have had a lot of meetings. So far we've had 24 meetings with the AAUP-AFT. We have 2 more this month and 2 scheduled next week. We've had 18 sessions with the AAUP, the BHSNJ, that's the union in Newark, and have a bunch more scheduled, 4 more scheduled through February. Had 8 sessions with the PTO faculty chapter. I think we've got some great ideas there that we can actually make some progress on. Karen, your group has been very instrumental in bringing some ideas forward, and we've got some really good data once we get this thing put to bed that we can start looking at and deciding how we're going to work with it. And we've had 8 sessions with CIR, which represents the interns and residents. So believe me, we're there. We're still dealing with non-negotiable issues in some cases. I can't say much of anything about any of this stuff because that's the subject of labor negotiations at the table, which prohibits me from saying much of anything or responding to much of anything. But I have to respond to one thing. And I have to do this because this was something that was directed at me very personally and very publicly. This happened first at the Board of Governors meeting, in a public meeting, in front of my board, in front of the newspapers, in an open session, when the leadership of the unions accused me of spending no money on diversity, not being interested in diversity, and having made no investment in diversity. And I believe the words were that President Barchi, you should be ashamed. I held my tongue, but I just want to make sure that everybody understands what the facts are. I don't usually go into facts because it's just not worth it. I committed in FY17 $21.8 million from my president's strategic fund to diversity hires. $21.8 million. 2.38 million in 17, 4.81 in 18, 7.13 million in this year, 4.18 million next year. And those dollars are going to support mostly diversity hires, faculty hires in the diversity environment. $19.5 million of that goes to there. But another $2.5 million goes to mentoring and retention of minority faculty, additional funding for annual diversity fora, and for research on diversity about how we can make a change. So you have to know from everything that I've said over the years how incredibly committed I am to diversity, whether it's in my student body, excuse me, or our staff, or our faculty. That's what we're here to do, to have those bodies represent the diversity of the populations that we serve. And I remain absolutely committed to that. But I will say one last thing that's a little different in the faculty than it is in the students and the staff. I can provide diversity hiring funds that can be used by the faculty to support a diversity hire. I can provide mentoring to a new diversity faculty to make sure they succeed. I can provide funding that helps to beat off other universities who want to hire our most successful diverse faculty. But I can't hire faculty. I do not hire faculty. Faculty hire faculty. That is the long and short of it. I cannot hire faculty, faculty hire faculty. So I can provide all of the means and the mechanisms to look at diversity hiring in faculty, but ultimately it's up to the faculty to make those hires. So I'm sorry.